Hey, enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 673.
The sexiest podcast on the network.
Pew, pew,
Pew,
pew, pew.
pew, Brian.
The
Pew.
jar of diced jalapeno spiking it off the groundiest podcast on the
Oh,
network.
shit. I didn't know we were compared to diced jalapenos.
Yeah, I was going to make that salsa that my sister made with like the cucumbers and all that.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I was like, well, I'm just going to get a jar of diced jalapeno because then I can kind of have it for when I want a little jalapeno,
Yeah,
you
of
know?
course.
So, I get a jar of it, get out to the car, go to pick up the bag, didn't realize that the dude kind of wrapped the bag around it. And I thought I was grabbing the handles, but I was grabbing the bottom of the bag. And I, just turned instantly toward the car and it just dropped right out and just smashed all over the ground.
I was kind of hoping you launched a jalapeno grenade at somebody else.
Oh, that would have been awesome, but no, unfortunately, What was funny, I go inside Kroger and I'm like, hey, I just threw a jar of jalapeno, diced jalapeno.
I just made your parking lot better. You're welcome.
Yeah, I was like, you might want to get somebody out there to, get that glass shored up because I didn't have anything in the car to, take care of it really. And
you had gasoline and you could get away. That's your
good point. Well, no, because it was right behind the wheel, like right behind the tire. So I was like, well, I got to move this. I don't want to because of big chunks of glass and such. I mean, I could have picked up the big chunks, but also I don't really want to handle it because jalapeno. I don't really want that all over my fingies.
True, true.
So I tell him, and the woman at the counter was like, she goes, "Dang it!" And I was like, she's like, "All the baggers are on lunch right now." She's like, "We don't have anybody to send out there." And I'm like, "Okay." So I go back out and I'm like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Oh, you know what? We've got a fucking ice scraper in the car." So I take it. I just scraped it all to the side, basically, the best I could.
Never considered an ice scraper for the Blackstone.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, well, that'll get it out of the way at least.
Clear the field.
Yeah. Told my mom, I said, make sure you don't cut your wheels, toward where that glass was. I said,
for you.
Yeah. My Wolverine claws, snickety snacked. Whatever.
Why didn't Marvel ever make that snickety snacks? That writes itself. Jesus,
that would have been great.
Like Wolverine, little fruit chews or some sort of like cheesy crunchiness or something.
Yeah, like Cheez-Its, but they're just like Wolverine's hands or something. I don't know.
Just claw shaped, like Andy Cap fries.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, awesome. Snickety snacks.
Snickety snacks.
Nothing goes better with a can of Snickety snacks because they're like Andy Cap fries. They're in a can.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like Wolverine's Weapon X coffin. You know what I'm saying? That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Right? The lid's an X, of course. Like X.
Sure. Well, yeah, and then snacks is with an X.
But then an ice cold Heineken, thanks to Wolverine Deadpool.
Yeah. Good call. Mm-hmm. When I was at Kroger today, there was a guy that came up on one of those electric bicycles.
Yeah.
And when I walked by it, and at first I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool pattern on the front of it. It kind of was like orange and looked like rock. And then I'm like, hold the phone. I saw a big 4 on the side of it. I'm like, I looked at him. I'm like, I'm like, is that a Fantastic Four themed bike? And he goes, yeah, I'm a big Thing fan. Then he shows me his helmet, and it looked like it was like the top of the Thing's head, basically.
Hilarious.
And I was like, that's pretty dope, actually. I was like, this is pretty cool for something that otherwise
was
is
this
not
like
very
an
cool.
Adult man? Then you absolutely known before sex he said it's clobbering time.
Oh,
you
I hope
know
he
did. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Even if he was banging the Invisible Woman.
Right. Well, afterwards, if he's going full Fantastic Four afterwards, you got to yell "Flame on!"
Herpes.
Because, herpes. Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. Whoopsies. And then you become the Invisible Man, not the Invisible Woman, but you just take off.
Yeah, I think it starts off with him going like, hey, much like Mr. Fantastic, it stretches. Then it's clobbering time. Then flame on. And then he just, disappears.
Turn invisible. Yeah. Like, holy shit, this guy's the whole Fantastic Four.
God. It's a fantastic one-night stand.
Well,
probably not.
We'll see.
Not till, fast forward a little bit, flame on.
Yeah. 9 months later, she calls and she's like,
Doom. Yeah, right.
Uh-oh.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was different though. I should have stolen the bike.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the helmet, of course. Couldn't have worn it. Actually, I probably could have. That dude had a big dome, so I might have been able to wear his helmet.
Did it say anywhere on his bike "Fantastic car"?
No.
He fails.
Fantastic.
He fails.
I don't know.
That's a failure. Yeah. Definitely dropping a letter grade at least.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're right. Mm-hmm. But decent, I give him points for effort.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because most of those bikes are just plain. So
I mean, they're cool as hell, though. I'd like to have one.
Yeah, I could have had one. I mean, he walked into the store before me.
That's true. That's true.
Taken off. He didn't lock it up, or if he did, I don't know how he locked. Oh, well, you got to have a key, probably.
I don't know.
Right?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I don't know if there's any sort of gimmick. I don't know how they work. So it's like magnets.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not sure either.
All right, fair enough.
The only ones I've ever ridden, I've rented from, like Bird or whatever the local one is here.
And those are like little scooters.
But they got bike ones too, though. Yeah. But it's more like almost looks like a moped.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this one looks, like the bike. It looks like a bike with just bigger tires on it. Yeah, I've seen those. So, but with the Fantastic Four, I should have got a picture of it. I don't know why I didn't. I'm sure he would have been like, yeah, I'd be like, no, you need to get out of your slob. It's like, I didn't ask for you. Like, you literally are a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the thing. Oh my God, that got really
noticed
bright.
That. I thought maybe like over there. You remember the scene in Terminator 2 when all the kids are at the playground and Sarah Connor's like, no, and then there's this flash and she dies. That's what that flash was.
Wait, spoiler.
Well, it was just a dream, actually, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. We're good.
That's exactly that moment when it's just a skeleton holding the fence and it's flames. That's me cooking on the Blackstone when it's like 95 out. That's what it feels like, man.
I like it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody's watching. I don't know who.
I got a feeling
that tonight's going to be a good night.
No, somebody's watching.
It's going to be a good night.
Oh, we don't need to go that way. It's literally a song about somebody watching me.
So I saw the most insane commercial today, Brian. That wasn't political. Because, we were talking about terrible ads, right?
Yeah.
So this ad, it's like, it'd be like you and I, but we're way older. And we're hysterically, it's like 50. And fast forward a couple years.
Yeah. Tomorrow,
But we're like just laughing hysterically. Cut to another couple people laughing their asses off like they're watching Holy Grail or, listening to Salty Language or especially listening on patreon.com/saltylanguage. Hilarious stuff, right?
Yeah, right.
And it's like, laughter's addictive, but unfortunately so is RSV.
Wow. That's almost up there with those like the shingles doesn't care.
I couldn't believe it. It was just like adults, whatever your age and older should get vaccinated for RSV or it could have consequences or whatever. But it's just, but then it ends with everyone laughing and shit. It was bizarre. I couldn't believe that though. So is RSV.
Yeah. I bet that's what it is. They were like, hey, those shingles commercials really hit people. Everybody knows about them.
Everybody knows.
And it's like, maybe if we do one in that same vein,
I mean, isn't RSV just a common cold? I haven't looked it up.
No, it's something different than that.
Oh, well. Okay, maybe you should get vaccinated then.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we're not old enough yet.
That's true.
So
I'm not worried about it.
I think it's like 50 or 55 and older.
God damn it, it's right around the corner.
I know, because I asked about it when I got my pneumonia vaccine. I was like, do I need to get an RSV one? They're like, no, you're not old enough and you're not at risk, basically. I'm like, okay. So if I die of RSV, I want you to go into that pharmacy and burn it
to
the
ground.
Avenge me,
Oh my!
This could have been prevented. His blood's on your hands. Like, dude, he died of RSV. There was no blood involved. I said his blood.
His blood. God damn it!
Vengeance.
My children are currently going into the sky. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Off for vacation. / yeah. I'm very happy for them. / must be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay.
So I finally watched something that you watched a while ago and told me I should watch, which was Ren Faire.
Oh, yes. Okay.
With old King George. Wow.
Right?
That was a ride.
Right?
He's something.
He is a character, isn't he?
Not just him. There's a few of them in there that are really something. It's like, man, they got a really interesting cast on there. I could see why. So there were some people afterwards that were like, "Was this like scripted?"
It feels like it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Because like the guy who's the general manager at first is really, God, he's a bootleg.
He kind of is throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, he never really stands for himself. And
Zero.
The woman who comes in that's the co-GM that replaces him, boy, she really thought she was hot shit until she had to sit in a meeting by herself with King George.
Dressed her down.
Destroyed her. Yeah. It's funny because there's a lot of things in that where he comes across as like kind of crazy, eccentric, whatever words you want to use. And then there's other things that he says, and I'm like, this is why the guy's successful.
Exactly. It's why he's a multi-millionaire that lives in basically an art exhibit.
Yeah, he really does. Yeah. And it's like one of the things he said that I thought was interesting was very much like when he asks her for her read list. And I'm like, what the fuck's a read list? And then when he talks about it, I love his description when he's like, you got to give me a list of books you read. I got books by the toilet. So whenever I go, if I got to poop or pee, shit or pee, I got to read. And I'm like, you sit down long enough to read when you have to pee?
Well, look how old he is.
Yeah.
You got to coax that bladder out of a coma.
You're right. It's probably not right away.
It's like,
it's probably got a system of pulleys and wheels.
Exactly.
And stuff
a little bit of steam starts coming in out of his belly button or something.
Right. Okay. I hadn't considered that. Yeah. You're right.
That shit was built in the Industrial Revolution.
I mean, you're probably right. But, given that he's a voracious reader, I can understand that to where he's like, hey, constantly learn about things that are relevant to what we're doing. Because you never know when you read something, you might go, oh, I can apply that to what I'm doing. Right. So I'm like, that's actually not a terrible ask of him, even though that job is very demanding on its own. But I can see, but her nonchalantness about it, to where he was like, you don't have any intent. I was like, oh no.
That was the one thing I actually really liked about that guy is he's so old and he's so like rich and crazy. He don't give a he'll just say what's on his mind. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah. The parts that bugged me at times were like when he was just like, we're done, and would just walk away, basically. Yeah. I was like, that was incredibly rude to people. But, again, he's used to being in control and powerful and all this. But like when he did that to that woman, like, when he was on that one date with the girl, and the first thing he asks her, he's like, are your breasts real or natural? And the first girl they show him with was kind of like, yes, they are, and blah, blah. The second one was like, no, actually, I had surgery. And he goes, okay, well, we're done.
Just dips. Leaves her in the Olive Garden booth. Fucker's taking her out the Olive Garden.
I know. Now, the first question I had sitting there watching was like, I wonder if he paid the tab.
I mean, he should have, but yeah, I hear you.
Or he just left it for her. But I was like, Jesus, I was like, that's so rude. I mean, he could have said, hey, that's a deal. It's like, but that's not him. He's very, like you said, when he's had his fill, and he's done. And it makes him, I'm sure, maddening to work with.
I couldn't even imagine.
Right? Or can you, or have a relationship with, God, I can't imagine, trying to live those last 9 years of his life out with him. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you watched it because It's a ride.
It was was. I mean, it was interesting. Now, here's the thing. So at the end, sorry for the spoilers for those who haven't seen it, but the guy who was the general manager gets fired, which blew my mind. He didn't even demote him or something. He just straight fired him and gave him no real reason for it, which was pretty shitty.
I think he also is kind of like, this fucking guy is like trying to angle his wife into shit, and I think he's just like, you know what, I'm good. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and so then of course he fires the woman that was the GM because she was a shit fit for that job. She really thought she knew and I think she was hoping that other dude was going to buy it and she was just going to have a nice cushy job because those two were kind of in cahoots.
A little bit, yeah.
And George was basically like, yeah, I'm not selling to that guy. Oh, and you're fired. Yeah. So after that, for those who haven't seen this, the original guy got hired back as the entertainment director, which I think he's much better suited for. I could see him being amazing at that job. Because you saw a couple glimpses of it, and I'm like, this is his wheelhouse, But I looked up what happened after the documentary because I was like, I wonder if there's any update on has he sold or found his companion or any of this shit. Apparently, when he saw the whole thing, George, that is, he felt like shit about how he treated Jeff.
Oh, really?
And he ended up promoting Jeff back to general manager and apologized to him because he was such an asshole.
Wow.
Now, who knows if he's still working there?
That's a good follow-up, though.
But yeah, that's about all and it was from the director of the documentary. He gave that update. So I was like, well, good, except like, I really don't think Jeff's the right guy for that job. I don't think he's not qualified. No. He's really not. He's learning everything on the fly. And really what he needed was somebody like if George was better at how he thinks and expresses himself, Jeff could have really learned from him potentially. But George is so like, I want this, and he won't explain why.
Yeah, right.
That it's like you can't anticipate or it's like Vince McMahon. Vince doesn't, he didn't do that with a lot of people. He didn't always explain himself. He was just like, I want this. And we're like, but, and he's like, no, this. And we're like, okay, well, you're the guy with the paychecks.
You signed my check, so sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. But one last note on this whole thing was that Louis dude who kept trying to buy the fair. Holy shit, did that every time they showed him drinking something, he was shotgunning like an
crushing energy drinks, vaping all day.
Oh my God, that guy's gonna kill himself with all those energy drinks, man. Like I love like he's out there, he's stirring the kettle corn, working up a good lather, and he's like, oh, I need something to drink, and and the first thing he does is go over and crush a Red Bull, and I'm like, dude, that is not rehydrating.
In kettle corn land, it sure is, Brian.
I guess, yeah. Well, I like the first time you see him doing it, he's cracking one into like an old timey mug. So you're not walking around with a Red Bull in your hand. But after that, like every time you see him, he's basically got
he's like flying down the highway, crushing energy drink, ripping a vape. He crushed one before he went somewhere, went to a convenience store, bought like 3 more, and was like you said, just rips right into it as soon as he gets in the car. Like, shit was wild.
I'm like, no wonder why this guy's wired all the time. He's just pure adrenaline or pure caffeine. But whew. All I can say is for his sake, I hope Red Bull sent him some Red Bull afterwards. Because
they know they got him. They don't have to.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, just for putting him on, putting him in the thing. It's too like they didn't blur Red Bull in the thing. I don't think. Usually in movies and stuff, they blur them. But anyway, yeah, it was a.
It was something. Yes.
It was entertaining. I mean, it's maddening a little bit, but most of it, it's mostly just like, wow.
Yeah, right?
Just, wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But it is interesting. It really does make you want. It's similar to like WWE is that like if it's not in the right hands when George dies, because I can't see him actually selling it. He'll probably, be the owner of it till he dies. If it's not in the right hands when he dies, that thing's going to probably shrivel.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think that Louis dude was the right dude either because I think he wants to do too much. instead of just going, okay, it makes a lot of money. How can we tweak it and slowly make more money? He was like, I got all these ideas. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to bankrupt this company.
Yeah, because people want to go to those things every year because they don't really change much, you know?
Right. Like, you know, I saw like George makes a couple comments in it to where he was like, this year, let's do this. And I'm like, that's how you do it. Here's one new gimmick or a couple little gimmicks that we're doing this year. You just keep improving it. You don't need to overhaul the whole thing.
You know, I went to the Michigan Ren Faire before I had kids. And then when I had kids, I took them. And it's like, oh, we got to go watch the joust. And it's still the same. Oh, we got to go over here and eat a turkey leg. It's still, you know. Yeah, because it's I'm just imprinting my kids with my shit, you know.
Right. Yeah. But you do need to add some new experiences because there are going to be other people who'll be like, oh, it's the same as last year, you know. But some people won't care. You know, they want that. You know, you go to Cedar Point and they have new rides, but also it's like I want to go ride all the old rides too.
Play the old hits.
Like I want to ride my favorites. I want to the greatest hits. I want to see the jousting. I want to have a turkey leg. I want to you know. So yeah, I think the other guy was going to have it into like some sort of like EDM festival within a week, basically.
I could see that.
That probably fits his Red Bull lifestyle.
Yes, 100%.
I don't think they had glow sticks in medieval times.
Just lightning bugs.
It's like, fuck you, cracks a Red Bull.
Yeah, this is wizardry.
Yeah. You can see those?
That's funny.
Yeah, good stuff. It's 3 parts. People should really watch it. It's a really entertaining watch.
See.
George is a special boy.
Speaking of entertaining, Brian, last Friday, I went to Toledo Speedway.
Oh,
of course it froze. I could see you, though.
Yeah.
Oh, and Brian's...
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wait. Do we have contact?
Okay.
Oh,
we're back.
Gosh.
Now. Yeah.
I was scared.
Yeah, the video and everything caught up finally.
So, I went to Toledo Speedway for race night, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was, a buddy of mine.
What made you do that?
Well, a buddy of mine wanted to go, and he was like, this is back in July or something. He just was like, oh, hey, I bought you a ticket for August. Like, oh, okay, fair enough, right? So, leave work, go, have some wings and a beer, head to the raceway. They did regular races at first, like like short circle track. You all right? You all right over there, Brian?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but it's freezing up bad.
Weird.
So.
And then they had normal like full track racing, right? And then shit got weird.
Right.
Because they had a race where you only got points if you finished in second place. Yeah, so like everyone slams on their brakes right at the finish line. It was bizarre.
Yeah, right. That's
and
weird.
Then they did figure 8 races, Brian.
Oh yeah, those are
the
something
first one was cars pulling boats on trailers, and that shit was hysterical.
Right. I wonder if that guy we saw bust that clean U-turn.
Yeah, no shit, right?
With a boat in tow.
And the second race was school bus figure 8s, and my God, that shit was terrific. And I learned, if there's one thing I learned from tonight, is look out. Because that was the racing announcer. He's like, I'm coming in the middle. Look out! Look out! Every time there was almost a crash, look out! It was fantastic.
Okay.
And get this, right? We get there, $5 beers, which I was kind of surprised by. Right? So we get there, grab some banquets. And it's my buddy. It's 2 guys I work with. And my one dude's like, hey, I wonder if my friend's here. He's like, he used to sponsor a car. He's like, I'm just going to see if he's here. And he's like, oh, hey, he's here. Do you want to go say hi to him? We're like, sure. Dude is over in the suites. So we had to watch the races from the suites. And mind you.
Oh, nice. First of all, I didn't know they had suites there.
So by suites, have you ever, those little like construction trailers that are like where the office is? It's that, but it has a deck on each side. But it's right up on the track. So that was the suite, and unfortunately, you have to bring your own beer to the suite, so no one there was providing us. Like, this dude came out with a handful of them. I'm like, oh, this dude's bringing beers for everybody, and he just skipped us. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
maybe
like,
he's not.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a guy who doesn't want to go
exactly.
back.
Well, no, he started handing them to people, and then went around us, and then kept handing them out. So it's like, shit.
Fair enough. Yeah,
know, right?
Dang it.
But it was actually a lot of fun, except for trying to get out of the parking lot at the end of the day. It reminded me of like old school sports arena. It was a shit show, dude.
Yeah, because it's a very small parking lot and it's
condensed. There's a ton of people there, and there's only like 2 exits.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say a small parking lot, but it's condensed. That's
it was a shit show, dude.
Yeah, because you're right. It is like the sports arena. There was only 2 ways.
There's one way, unless you're going to the river.
Yeah. Yeah. Or going out the inn. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. If you could take off in a boat, maybe.
No, that was I would definitely go to figure 8 racing. Like, I really wasn't interested in the actual races they did. You know, and like my buddy's friend who was letting us hang out there was like, oh, well, this guy's an asshole and he drives like that. Like, he's a fan, obviously. And everyone on that deck was fans. But I was like, it's, whatever, it's cool. But the figure 8 shit, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, my parents used to go years ago. Like, I mean, like, I think pre me, like years ago. And because my dad, long time ago, my dad used to race cars, but he was more of a like drag kind of race, not
laps,
race tracks. Yeah. So, and I don't mean like in like funny cars. It was just more of a whatever
hilarious
car you
cars.
had, and it was, yeah. But so they knew some of the drivers of different, classes and stuff out there or whatever. But it was like I don't remember where we were at. One of the fairs or something we did at the fair. There was a racetrack, and they did like figure 8s, and they did like the midget cars and some of the other stuff. And it was kind of fun to watch, but it was like, I'm not a big race guy, but the figure 8 stuff was crazy because you're like, holy shit, because there's so many times where they just miss each other. And you're like, oh God, and I've gotten to see demolition derbies that way and stuff. And those are fun to watch too.
Made me want to play Wreckfest.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's cool.
It was a good time. I would definitely go back.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's weird because that place has been there forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
that's one.
It's like I've only been there like.
Well, that's when I was there. I was like, fuck, I haven't been here. Like, I think my dad and I went there. And I'm like, that's the last time. I mean, it's a long time. Like, I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's like me. I was there. I don't remember who I went with. I went with some people. I was probably in my early 20s. I mean, so it's been, 20, 25 years probably since I've been there. And I know they've air quote remodeled it a little bit since then, because it was kind of a dump.
I mean, it still is, to be
there,
fair. They put up dividers that separate the trough space now. Yeah, the trough is still there.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah, but now it's not just an open piss trough like it used to be.
Well, at least something's carrying on the sports arena tradition.
Also, sweet name for a grindcore band, Open Piss Trough.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was Open Trough. Okay. Piss Trough is better, though.
Piss Trough. Oh, dude, if I was still playing Blood Bowl, that'd be an orc name.
Yeah. Piss Trough would look awesome with that metal font on a t-shirt, too. I
love this, Piss Trough.
Yeah, it really would.
No, it was cool, though. I just, like I said, I mean, maybe, is that something you might be interested in next time?
Yeah, I'd be interested in it. I mean, like I said, I'm like you. It's like I'm not like Johnny Race guy.
But nonsense is fun. Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, we just go have a time, have some pints. Well, beers.
They were pints.
But
yeah, at least the banquets were.
Usually $5 beers are, small.
Yeah. Oh wait.
So.
No. Yeah, it was the taller banquet twist off tops. Yeah, those are pints.
Oh, okay.
All right. I know,
wow,
right?
For $5. I mean, I know that's not cheap for a banquet, but at an
event,
that's
for sure.
For
like my dude bought the first round. I'm like, well, what was the round? He's like, oh, it's $15. I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, okay.
All right, that ain't bad at all. Yeah.
Right. Like at $15 you can buy a round, but if you're like, oh, these are 10
yeah,
apiece,
like, you're like, okay, you guys have beers. I'm gonna drink water.
Yeah, it's like the last hockey game I went to. I had a beer. If I go to a baseball game, I have a lot of times I'll have a beer.
That's where the whole term pregame comes from.
Yeah,
pregame, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. There was one baseball game I went to where we were drinking heavy, but that was because the guys I went with were guys that drink a lot, and I was like, guys, I don't have much money, and they were like, who cares? And they just kept buying me rounds, which I paid back because that was the one where we played that game where, when your dude comes up to the plate, it's like the hat goes to you. You put a buck in. If he gets a single, you take a buck out. Doubles, triple, home run empties the hat. You leave $1, of course, to buy in, but otherwise you empty the hat. So, and I won, I won quite a bit on that. So at the end of the, I was like, we went to some place afterwards, and I was like, all right, I was like, I'll buy a round or two here because I basically stole all your money.
I'll have a Coors Light and a round of sodas for these guys.
Yep. That's right. No, I'll have one Coors Light, and you just pour in a bunch of glasses.
Everyone gets little tasters.
Yeah.
Can I get an empty flight board?
Yeah.
Thanks. Preach.
Never said how much I was going to give you guys.
So, one of my new duties at work, right, is when we get new duties.
You said duty.
When we get new hires, I have to introduce them to the world of quality and teach them how to use a tape measure. Right? Good times. Just make sure they know how to read it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm just laughing because it's like
you'd be surprised, right?
Well, the other thing too is it's like there is a lot of information on tape measures. It's not just like
all they need to know is how to read an inch.
Oh, okay.
That's all they need. Okay. We're not building houses here.
Okay, because there's like notches
for
out there that are
carpentry
for other
yeah,
things.
No, they just need to know the what that little dash is mean on a tape measure, basically.
Okay, all right.
So
it's just a mustache between the numbers, right?
Some people I think believe that actually. But so this dude I'm training with yesterday, just conversationally, because I had a couple guys in the room. I'm like, so what did you guys do before you came here? Work, right? I want to know where he used to work. One dude's like, oh, I was, I'm ex-military. I'm like, oh, okay. And the other guy's like, well, my cousin lives really close to here, so I stayed the night at his place last night, and we had some beers, we had some fun, and I'm like, no, dude, work. Oh, I used to work at Kroger on Navarre. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Also, quick pro tip: maybe don't tell somebody at your place of employment that you were not going to.
I mean, I could give a shit.
Yeah.
I know,
yeah,
for sure. I just was like, Jesus Christ, man. And the other dude's just laughing,
Right, because he gets it, yeah.
That's the first time I've ever encountered that, because I usually always ask, hey, what'd you guys do before this? Yeah. Oh, well, I was at my cousin's, and we were having a lot of fun.
What'd you do before you worked here? Oh, I was at McDonald's. I got breakfast. Like, no, dude, not like
in
literally
third
an hour
grade.
ago. Yeah. Well, it all
my
started.
First memory is.
Yeah. Well, let me reenact my birth for you. It starts there.
Like,
whoa.
You're like, just put your legs up. I'm gonna crawl up between your. I'm gonna crawl up from between them. You're my mom now.
Yeah.
God, damn it.
I'm always the mom.
Oh man, have you seen all the exciting Australian breakdancing memes?
Oh my God, yeah, God, you talked about something driven into the ground so hard.
I feel so bad for Ray Gun. The
more I've read about it, it sounds like there's maybe a little shenanigans around it.
Oh, really? Do tell.
And that because the person who took second in the breakdancing competition, I've seen video of them, and they're really good.
No, she didn't take anything.
No. I said second, and I'm talking like the Australian breakdancing finals that she won to go to the Olympics.
Okay. I'm sorry. I see what you mean.
That it looks like that basically someone picked her because they wanted the platform for something that they really didn't do it with the intention of sending a good breakdancer.
Really?
Because look at all the attention it got. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seemed like.
I don't know how much this is true, but I've read quite a bit that makes it sound like there might have been some real shady practices behind it, and that's how she ended up there.
I mean, when I was seeing just the clips, I was like, this has got to be a bit, you know?
Me too. That's why when I first saw it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, it's not like I'm any sort of a breakdancer, but have you seen how many people have reenacted her dance? Because they're basically like, this is the first time I've ever seen anything at the Olympics that I was like, I can do that.
I love the creeper thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when she's squiggling around on the ground doing that thing.
Yeah.
I saw this goddamn TikTok yesterday. It was just like, it was just a TikTok of someone lifting up a log. It's like, every time you pick a log up and there's just like 6 of her squiggling around on the ground. And it was so good.
Yeah, there's been some really good ones. I mean, like I said, it's always that first 24 hours. I'm like, these are great. And then it's like, okay, then it usually becomes super derivative. Like any time there's anything that blows up, right? It's that after it hits that peak, it's like, okay, look, like everybody did that joke yesterday. Like you're showing up late way late. It's like the Facebook user that's like, hey, and you're like, yeah, I saw that meme like a month ago.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, look at this cutting edge content I found.
Yeah. Have you heard of Chocolate Rain?
Oh my God. That is the Facebook timeline. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Because I remember we used to talk about that, how being on Reddit and Twitter and all that stuff, it was like people would post stuff on their Facebook, and I'm like, God, I saw that. You guys are so far behind here. Like, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you in the 80s? I'm in the present. What's happening here? But yeah, I have also seen some things that it's like there's no guaranteed breakdancing.
I heard it was already out.
Next Olympics. Yeah, and I was like, gee, that sucks so bad for the people who really, are doing it, the right way. I did see that there were some people that like came to her defense, basically saying that breakdancing is about expression and doing whatever you feel, kind of a thing. And I'm like, yeah, but if I feel like I can go do her routine, that's not Olympic level.
If like all I have to do for part of it is pretend I'm on fire, I think I'm good.
Because literally, there's no other Olympic event that I feel like I could, in my current state, practice for an hour and go compete against that person. There's no other sport in the Olympics that I feel like give me an hour and I think I can do the same thing, except for what LeBron James does. Well, obviously, I'd only take 10 minutes. Nobody can, no, but you know what I mean? Like, there's no other sport that you look at and go, yeah, I could do that, like, at all. I'd be like, I'd die if I tried it.
Well, if this was a bit somehow, I don't know if I respected or hated.
It wasn't that it was a bit as much, like it wasn't trying to be funny as much as it was they were trying to use that platform just to get attention for whatever cause or something. So here, let me see if I can find something on it real quick. Like I said, grain of salt, of course, because
of course, yeah. Yeah, I just like I couldn't believe it was real. I can't imagine what other breakdancers are thinking watching this.
Yeah. Well, something that I read was basically like in order to get into the qualifier in Australia was that you have to be part of a certain group, or maybe it's the Olympics. You have to be part of a certain group and it's expensive. So basically certain people that were breakdancers couldn't get money and there was money allocated for it. But this other woman basically froze the money so that it guaranteed that Raygun would get through. Yeah, and stuff. So that's why I said, like, if you look up Australian breakdancer controversy, there's a variety of things that kind of pop up here that, like, she's accused of getting 0 points on purpose and all this other stuff. So I don't know if there's real truth to any of it or not, but
I kind of hope more stuff comes out about this, because if it's sort of weird controversy and it's all for naught, I don't. I smell documentary, Brian.
Well, I agree, but the worst part at that, like I said, the worst part for me is it's like, again, there's all these other people that tried really hard, and it shits all over what they're doing, and I that bothers me a lot. But I also understand that, yeah, you know, like I said, there's all sorts of things, and there's theories on it, but I don't know if there's any real proof. That's the problem, you know.
Fucking ray gun.
Yeah. Apparently she, you know, I'm seeing all these things where it's like, you know, she claps back at people who criticized her and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, how can you clap back at that when literally, I mean, you went out there and laid the biggest egg ever in the Olympics. You got 0 points. I mean, you almost would have been better to not compete.
Yes. Yeah.
You know. So, yeah. But anyway, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if any of it's true.
Oh, I hope it all comes out.
There has to
Somebody
be something.
spilled the tea. I'm thirsty.
Yeah. I'm like you. It's like really the next step now on this is like, okay, let's get a documentary going here. And somebody has to be trying to get that going.
The ray gun story. Ray Gunnomics. No.
No.
I got nothing. Ray gonna be dancing in this documentary. Yes.
Yes. No. But yeah, I like I said, I don't know all the stuff, but I just read some stuff the other day about it, and you know, everybody can go read up on that on their own. But it's like from the first minute, like when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then after that, like I watched it, and I was like, this can't be real, right? Like it felt like something that Saturday Night Live
for sure, Mr. Show.
Yeah, something like there's some sort of a satire for it. And according to like the New York Post, it's saying that they're saying the controversy is that basically she went because she would get a subsidy, like money for it, and that she could do an academic study with it, basically. Like her performance would be an academic study and get paid for by the government, basically. So yeah, I don't know. But whatever.
Shout out Ray Gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How is it only hump day, man? How is it only National Creamsicle Day? I know.
Right?
I wish I had a creamsicle, actually. Sounds pretty good. I haven't had one in a while.
Yeah.
Sure, I'd be shitting my pants later. That's part of the fun. It's part of the excitement. It's like 4th of July.
Right. Yeah.
No, I got nothing.
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting. We watched we both watched Daredevil Born Again trailer.
I watched 2 trailers, Brian.
Yeah. I actually did too, because and it was like, because at the Disney, what they call it, D23 or whatever, they unveiled a trailer for Daredevil Born Again, which is the upcoming Disney Plus show. And yeah, exactly. But for some reason, Disney didn't release it to the public. I don't know why. And the first one I watched was like off of somebody's phone at the event. So that was like, I was like, well, I'm watching it, but the quality is, yeah. And it's like, I'm watching this on someone's potato.
It's there now, the mouse gulag underneath Epcot.
Right. And now this one that I'm watching here is I'm looking through the credits. There's a whole bunch of people that are like, yeah, this is fan made also.
Oh.
So I don't know that this is a real one either.
Yeah, the one I watched, I was watching it going, wow, these effects kind of suck. That Daredevil looks like shit. This doesn't sound like Charlie.
Right.
What's happening?
Daredevil looks like me. Like something isn't right.
And it turns out it was a fan-made fucking trailer inspired by the actual trailer, which I don't even understand how it's possible.
Yeah, that's exactly. So the only thing I can think of is like, if you're a person out there and you want to find this, is to, when you look, basically look for one that is well, this is from Screen Culture. This might be a legit one. But I was gonna say, make sure that it's like a bootleg one, because that's about the only way you can for sure see a real one, because people have split them together pretty well. I mean, they look good. But it's like the one I'm watching right now looks like it's. I think this is the same. I don't know. These might be cut from. That's why I said I don't know. I don't know why Disney didn't just release it. It's so weird.
I maybe I didn't watch the actual one.
I'm watching one right now, like a thumbnail of it, and I'm not even sure if this is the real one.
Damn it.
Because it's so easy to cut pieces from other things together, you know?
Well, the one I watched, like the costume looked good. Punisher looked good. It wasn't just some shit like bearded dude smoking in the dark, like in the first one I watched.
Yeah.
Like everything looked way better.
Well, one of the things I'm looking for is the suit, because he's supposed to be wearing a different suit in this one. So if he's wearing the same suit he wore in the Netflix series, it's probably not.
If it's the hot dog suit, that's totally the wrong show.
It is. Yeah. No.
Does he also drive a hot dog car?
Yeah. Hot dog Daredevil.
Dude, his batons are like wieners.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's so fucking weird, though, yo.
Imagine being in Hell's Kitchen and you just smell hot dog water. You're like, fuck. If you're a criminal, you're doomed.
Seriously. Yeah. Yeah, see, the one I just watched does not look the same as this one. This one here shows White Tiger in it, you know. So that's why I said I don't know if any of these are that. This one's literally from D23. You can see people in front of this dude. He's recording off the screen. So this has got it. This one must
also
be
in the mouse gulag.
One.
Yeah.
Yes. So this one's more likely to be anyway. But yeah. So whatever. It doesn't really matter. I guess it's like I'm excited to watch the show.
Sure.
I'm not going to put a link in the show notes because I don't know what one is real. So feel free to dig that one up yourself if you haven't. Like I said, I don't understand why you would have thought that Disney would have put a video up of the D23 thing so you could watch the trailers, because I think there's other trailers that they debuted at, like Kraven, which we'll talk about in a minute, and I think there's a few others that they kind of were like, hey, these things are coming. Oh, they showed one from the new Captain America movie.
Maybe Disney is so all in on the Daredevil trailer because he can't see it. Whoa, mind blown. Mind blown.
Shit, you're right. You
can
right.
only listen to it.
Yeah. But yeah, whatever. Like I said, I'm excited to watch the show though, because it's supposed to be like take things from the Netflix one, but it's not the same as the Netflix one. It's not a continuation.
Give me a sweet hallway fight.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some good fight scenes in it. But you know, I'm just excited they got everybody back. Like they didn't recast the main characters. Although I didn't see Foggy in the one, but it looks like the Punisher's in it. You know, John Bernthal's back as the Punisher. That I know for sure because I saw a Marvel panel where they brought out like all the people that were on the Netflix show, essentially the main characters. You know, Foggy, Karen, Kingpin, Daredevil, Punisher. You know, so they basically brought out all of them. So I'm like, okay, well that's cool. Everybody there is the same. So
we will see. The only person they could probably recast and no one would really be any wiser would be Jigsaw. Just because he's supposed to have a fucked up face anyway. So
true enough. Yeah.
I don't remember the actor who played him, but I know he's a good actor. So
I believe it was Bob Jigsaw, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Weird. He had the same name as the
he had the same
character
fucked up face.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought Jigsaw, the character's name, was Bob.
Sure is.
Yeah.
You know, Bob Jigsaw.
Bob Jigsaw. Not based on
his
him.
friends call him Bobby. Bobby Jigs.
Right.
That's his dance.
Yep. Bobby Jigs. He's known for his
jigs
around
exactly.
You know, that's why. It has nothing to do with it. And he's really good with a jigsaw.
I thought it was just because he smelled like cabbage.
Oh. Well, I mean, sometimes he does. Can't help that. He's got a robust musk.
That's true.
What are you going to do?
Also, the name of the salty language cologne, Robust Musk.
Robust Musk. Yeah. It's very robust.
Burns a little when you put it on, actually. Yeah, a lot. You just got to let it soak in, though.
Like, do you remember the first time you had a sip of whiskey?
Like, we're not talking good whiskey. We're talking shit-ass cheap whiskey. We're talking corn in a jar.
Right. Yeah. Like, you remember when you had, like, it's basically like moonshine. The moonshine of, or the backwoods moonshine of
backwoods
colognes.
moonshines? No.
Of backwoods moonshines, yeah.
That's the secret. The cologne that could get you drunk
and blind you. And not from getting it in your eyes, but just wearing it. The burning will blind you.
Blinding pain.
Oh my God, is this Mace?
No, it's Robust Musk.
Robust Musk by Salty Language Colognes. Puffle.
Water the toilet.
Yep. It smells like a toilet. Oh man. So anyway, real quick, we talked about the mentioned Kraven, and boy did that trailer surprise me, because I did not expect that full on violent assault on my senses.
Yeah,
that
Marvel's definitely like, let's make an R-rated R movie, guys.
I mean, it's from Sony with Marvel, because it's from the Spider-Man universe. Right. Yeah, it's part of that agreement. But yeah, it's weird though, because I don't know that I like the idea that through the trailer I feel like Kraven's supposed to be the good guy.
It's like his story.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because I'm so used to Kraven through the eyes of Spider-Man.
Well, Brian, you ever walked a mile in his hoof boots or whatever he wears?
Don't you remember? I did it back in like.
Oh God,
87.
I forgot about the Kraven-a-thon.
Yeah, remember I stole his boots.
Oh God damn it! It should have been called a 5 Kraven. Damn it! I fucked it up.
Then he hunted me down. Yep. Then he hunted me down because he's a hunter.
Kraven had a charity, that's what he would do. The 5 Kraven. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be his shit. What do you call it? The 5 Taflon. I can't remember the word for it.
pentathlon or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. No, pentathlon. There you go. Yeah, his would be. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, I was not expecting that to be like a rated R.
Yeah, he was like chopping heads and slicing people up and bear traps, and it was like, God damn.
Yeah, I was like, okay. It's like, okay then. All I can hope for is it's not Morbius.
God, it's Morbid time. It's
Kraven time. I'm craving some blood.
Who's gonna team up with Kraven and have like the Kraven snack box at like Popeyes or something?
Like Hardee's or something. Yeah.
Are you craving roast beef?
Yeah. Hi. Are you like me? Craving some roast beef? Head on over to Arby's. Where we have all the animals.
Can't you see the commercial? He's like on a tree limb and he parts some leaves. He's got his crossbow or something, and it's just a fucking platter with a nice roast beef sandwich on it and fries and a drink.
Yep. Yeah. It's got to have something else. It's got to have like 2 or 3 animals, like he just hunted them or something, Like, remember they had that one, I think Arby's was about a year ago. They had a sandwich that was like 3 different meats on it, I think. Yeah. And I think one of them was like, God, what was it? It was like, I think it was like venison or something like that. They had some weird burger, or not burger, but a sandwich. That's what I'm thinking, because it's got like pig, chicken, and something else he would hunt on.
So it's the, he's in the jungle, parts the leaves. He sees like a robust deer with a big rack. And he goes, nah.
Yeah.
And then like he sees like a prize-winning boar. Nah. And then the third one's the Hardee's. Arby's, Hardee's, whatever.
Yeah. Arby's is their
Hardee's.
Joint.
He sees the platter of Hardee's.
They're gonna merge. Yeah.
And that's what he was hunting the whole time.
The sandwich from there.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just picturing him shooting like a roast beef.
Oh, he could be. Maybe someone's about ready to bite the sandwich. Crossbow bolt.
Oh no, I just meant like whole roast beef. Like he was hunting the roast beef. Like, I've been tracking this for miles, and you just see the roast beef spinning on the
and the rotisserie
in the oven. Yeah. It's like, finally. Like, you can't escape me. Then he orders the
Kraven snack box.
Yep.
Or whatever.
I like it.
Why aren't we in marketing? We're geniuses. We should be the Detroiters, but in Toledo.
No. You're right. We should. The near Detroiters.
Yes. The South Detroiters. Wait, no, it's Windsor.
South Detroit. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, it's like I'm interested in this because I always liked the Kraven character. I mean, his costume is wild as shit, you know, because the fur vest,
lion face.
Yeah, it's very weird. But
if
hey,
they
whatever.
give him lion face as a shirt, respect. Because I mean, I saw the fur vest in the trailer, but I did not spy lion face.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna go, that looks really stupid, we're gonna not do that. But what would be funny is if they had a T-shirt that was like a big lion head.
Yes, I could see that.
Something like you remember in yes. No, I was thinking of oh God, what's his name? Luke Cage. Remember in that series where he gets out of that thing and he's wearing the yellow shirt and the crown and he's like, what the hell is, you know, kind of thing. It's like where you show the throwback uniform or outfit, but you're kind of like, okay, we're gonna make fun of
like
how
maybe
dumb
Kraven
this looks.
wanders through a Walmart and sees one of those inside of you there's an animal. It's just a lion face. Of course he buys it. Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Why wouldn't you?
Looks amazing. Like, look how cool.
Yeah, it's Harvey's on the way out in a movie tie-in.
Harvey's, yeah, for sure. Well, he's got to get a sandwich. I mean, he's hungry. He's been
can't break the fourth wall though. Can't order that Kraven snack pack. No.
No, because that wouldn't exist.
But the roast beef that always exists.
They could call it something else, but it can't be called the Kraven snack pack because, like you said, no, you can't break the fourth wall. This isn't
Deadpool. Yeah,
Deadpool.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Deadpool for sure could order the Kraven snack box.
Probably would. He's eating it right now.
In the movie. Yeah, just have Deadpool appear in the movie. He orders the Kraven snack box, and then he sees Kraven, and he looks at the sandwich, looks at Kraven. Like, did you guys notice this too?
Yes, I can see that. Quite.
Speaking of Deadpool, you know, you mentioned to me last time about how you, I don't remember if it was on the show or not, but you were like, good luck avoiding spoilers, right? Dude, I shit you not, within 2 days of you saying that, I think I know every cameo.
That's unfortunate.
And I haven't looked. I've just people posting pictures all, you know, because, I mean, it's been enough time
the
now.
Internet's
it's
the internet.
Yeah. Right. Which is like,
but
whatever.
Still.
But yeah, I'm not going to name any here in case someone hasn't had them spoiled for them, but I've seen a bunch. And that's where I'll leave it, you know. But I was like, wow, Tony was not wrong about that one. Like, yeah, like literally that night, I had 2 or 3 of them spoiled for me. And
of course they are.
Ones,
why wouldn't they be?
Yeah. Right.
God, I hate our society.
Like, I knew there was going to be cameos, right? And I could guess some of them. You know, I was pretty close on some of them, but there's, you know, but I was just like, man. But it stinks that there's not a way for me to just like turn something on or whatever that would like filter all of it out. So, but it's like, it's going to be months probably before I see it. It's probably not going to, you know, be
so much money in the theaters right now.
Well, that's the thing, is it's going to be forever before it's out of there probably. Cause like you said, it's crossed what, 1 billion, I think,
it's
already.
Not like Madam Web.
And it's going to keep going. Right. Cause people are going back and seeing it. Like, I know I've seen people talk about this. They've seen it like 5 times.
I liked it, but I don't like it that much.
I've never seen, the most I've ever seen a movie in the theater, I think, is twice. I don't think maybe 3, but I don't think so. And I did not pay for it because that was when I had friends at the movie theater.
No,
you know?
I went and saw Jurassic Park multiple times because like a family and my cousins and stuff like that. But the last one I could think of that I went to the theater multiple times was The Matrix. Because I saw it and I was like, holy shit. And then I told somebody else about it. And then we went and saw it and it was like, holy shit. And I saw it with someone else, you know?
Right. I saw the first Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, twice, but the first time my sister won tickets to like an advanced screening and me and my nephew went, and then I paid to see it a second time with my brother because he really wanted someone to go with him, and I was like, yeah, I'll go see it again, you know. So I saw the first of the 3 Lord of the Rings movies twice. Nice. I saw, you know what, after I think about it, I saw Starship Troopers 3 times.
Well, you should, because it's American classic.
We kept going back, because it was like, we got to go watch this, you know, this movie again. You know, there's a lot I've seen twice. South Park the movie, I think I saw twice, but again, I didn't pay for probably 95 to 99% of those times, you know, so that's why I went again, because I was like,
that makes sense
free.
though.
Yeah. If I had to pay for movies, there's not a lot of them I would have seen. Yeah, twice maybe. No way a third time. I can't think of a movie that I was like, oh my God, I have to go see this
3
again
times
in the
is
theater.
right out.
You know? Yeah. Even if it is a lady.
Nice. Oh, my Coke Zero's empty. God damn it. It doesn't,
Yay.
man, I'm out of beer and it sucks. Well, no. I'm out of plain beer. I have fancy beer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, speaking of people not going to see a movie, did you see how much money Borderlands looking to lose?
Boy, did they shit the bed.
It was oh God, that's so bright. The production budget on the movie is like $115 million and $30 million in distribution costs. So it's about $145 million in costs. And it made $8.8 million on the opening weekend in the US and 7.7 from the international market. So yes, it's made $16 million. So it's 130 some million dollars in the whole.
Pretty rough.
And all the reviews I've read for it are that it's just garbage. And there's a lot of people going to see it because they're like, it can't be that bad.
Oh,
and then
I'll definitely see it next week when it's streaming. For sure. Yeah, I'll watch it then.
Right. I think it might already
be.
But
I have zero intention of going to the theater to see that piece of trash.
You know, it's funny because I watched the movie for it, and the first vibe I got off of it was this is made by people who don't get the game. This is made by Hollywood instead of making it for the fans. Now, here's the scenario. It's crazy how Deadpool, movie made for the fans, $1 billion.
Okay, hold on. I'm mathing. All right. Okay.
Borderlands feels like it was made by people who've heard of Borderlands, but never ever played the games. Yeah, and it's losing a shit ton of money. And remember, we've said this before. This is the problem comic book movies had before the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A lot of them were made by Hollywood instead of being made by people who were passionate about the comic stories. The first people you need to satisfy in these things is the fans, because if you make a movie and it doesn't make the fans of that product happy, it doesn't typically do well because they're the most passionate. Now, Deadpool, by breaking the fourth wall, can appeal to a lot of people. It doesn't have to stay true to anything, you know. But it's like when you go see the Avengers, if they went too far off of things, people would have been like, this sucks. I don't want to watch this. Yeah. You know, it's. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty rough. It looks terrible.
It does. The sad part is it's like, it's got a good group of actors. Yeah, like there's some of the stuff I don't get. Like, I don't understand why you need to cast Jack Black as Claptrap. Just get the guy who did Claptrap's voice to do it. That's a little nod to the fans.
Well, yeah.
Right? Because you go, holy shit, it's the same guy. How many times have I said on here with Star Wars that I love when if a character comes off of an animated series into the actual Star Wars universe, like Thrawn. Getting the guy who did Thrawn's voice in Rebels to be Thrawn on the show was fucking amazing. And people were like, oh my God, it's the same guy, So, yeah, I think they just made so many bad decisions.
Yeah, they kind of fucked up. Not going to lie.
I just every trailer I saw for it was like, and I love that franchise. And I'm like, there's nothing about this that makes me want to go see this. And I saw the CEO of whatever, I forgot the game company, he was like, oh, people just need to give it a chance. And I'm like, they don't though. Like, no, there's so much shit to consume. If something looks like trash, I'm not going to give it the time of day until now. Later, if I hear, holy shit, it's amazing, blah, blah, from a large group of, you go on Rotten Tomatoes or something and you see tons of great scores, I'm like, okay, I'm clearly missing out. But otherwise, I'm like, nah, I got plenty of other things to watch. It just looks so bad.
What is the tomato reading on it? Tomato meter?
It wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm looking. Okay.
It was terrible, but I can't remember what it was.
Rotten Tomatoes. There it is. Bink. Survey says. Ooh, boy. 9 on the tomato meter. 52% audience score. Oof.
Wow.
Oof.
Indeed. Especially when you spend that much money to make the movie, man.
Yeah, right.
And the thing is, the writing in those games is amazing. It's hilarious. There's so many good jokes in there. There's all sorts of inside jokes within the franchise. There's all these characters that are kooky and weird,
zany and wild even.
Yeah, and all this that people, people were excited to see some of these characters on the screen, and then now they're just like, oh,
I know, right?
Yeah. And with it losing that much money, no studio is probably going to give it a chance, like give another Borderlands a chance down the road.
Unless,
you know what I mean? Like,
I could see, and this is what they probably should have done, was like Max or Netflix, Borderlands animated series.
That would probably be the right way to do it. Even just a series like they're doing Fallout. Like you could do Borderlands as a series. But I just trying to cram too much into the movies and picking characters that I don't know. It was sad. Like I said, when I first saw the teaser, I was like, okay, they tried to keep some of the hairstyles and stuff of Kate Blanchett, like kind of feel like the characters in the show a little bit or the game, I mean. And it's like, okay, maybe they're going to try to hold some of the things. Like I get you can't make it that like style of Borderlands because that would look weird. But then I was like, can't you though? Because they went way out of their way to make Sin City look cool as shit.
They could have, but that would be outside the box thinking.
Right, but it's like, can't you figure out a way to put a filter on people or something? Like, you've seen, oh God, what was that movie? It was an animated movie that came out forever ago. I
know what you're talking about. It was all cell shaded. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like Keanu Reeves in it.
I don't remember the name.
Something.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it was cool looking, but like, do something along those lines to where it's sort of animated, but it's also kind of not, but it's over actual acting basically. I think you could make things look really cool that way, but whatever. Maybe they did.
All I know is they fucked up.
They fucked up. Yeah, because it's losing a lot of money. So, anyways, real quick, I finally watched Godzilla versus Kong, the new one. Was it called New Empire or whatever?
Is it as bad as it looks? Okay.
It's okay.
I probably won't ever watch it, I'll be honest.
It's not great, honestly.
Like the first one, I was just kind of like, oh God, this movie's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a ton of action in it, which I understand because the action scenes cost so much money to do. But it's a monster movie.
Bite the bullet, Hollywood.
Like, there's some cool stuff. Like, Godzilla's getting, like, just keeps charging up through the whole thing and just fucking wrecking stuff, which was kind of cool. And Godzilla decides to take a nap in the Coliseum, which is kind of funny.
I mean, it sounds like a good one. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's weird because, because after, have you seen the first one?
I didn't like it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really either. But, like how they separate Kong and Godzilla so they don't fight anymore. So this starts with they're separated. And they eventually find what I don't know. It's not great. I mean, Mothra's in it.
Fun.
That's cool, but I forgot the other monster that's in it, but it's just like it's all right. Like we got done, my mom's like, "What'd you think?" I'm like, "It was all right," and she goes, "Yeah, wasn't real impressed with it." And I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "Well," I told her, I said, "Well, we still have -1 to watch." I told her, we'll redeem ourselves with that one because I've heard it's so. We'll probably watch that pretty soon here. We just because she wanted to watch the new Aquaman movie too. That was okay.
Fair enough.
It's whatever. It's not terrible, but it was fine. There's Momoa's kind of fun as Aquaman and whatever. Although he's way cooler than any Aquaman basically ever in the comics.
I'm sure DC's like finally.
Yeah, but then this Aquaman I think is not going to be part of the new DC universe that James Gunn is launching. So I think Momoa is basically done as Aquaman unless something changes. So I was like, okay, I think you did a decent job of kind of making him a cool character a little bit by putting a cool guy as Aquaman, but now you're going to probably recast him and the character's going to go back to being
nerd.
I don't think there is a comic book character I gave more chances to than Aquaman. Every time they rebooted the series or put a hot shot writer on the series, I'm like,
finally, Aquaman's going to hit his shit.
And a lot of times it'd be like, you'd get off to a hot start, and then like 3 issues in, you're like, yeah, I'm done.
And it's terrible.
It's like, I think it's just the character. It's just trash.
He's a merman. Lord of Atlantis.
Oh, I can't hear you.
He's a merman.
Did you tap your mute button?
Nope.
By chance?
Nope.
No? I can't hear you anymore. What the hell?
I think Brian's going deaf, guys. It's picking me up on my end. You can't hear me, so it doesn't matter.
Wow, sorry, folks.
Technical difficulties, ladies and germs.
Here. All of a sudden, I can't hear Tony
Oh.
anymore.
Huh. Hold on.
Weird. The sound stuff is still...
It turned my mic back to the default device on the fly.
Wow, okay, because I'm like, nothing changed on my end. I couldn't figure it out.
But you know what's interesting is a mic was picking me up somewhere because I was watching my levels bounce. Maybe it's the mic on my camera.
Yeah, it must have been.
Asshole. Why can't I just make it my default device?
Yeah, I know, right?
Come on, Skype. Let me favorite it.
Yeah.
Pretty
stupid.
Shit.
Pretty stupid. It is really dumb that you can't have a default settings that it remembers. I don't know why they don't do that.
Whoopsie. Sorry, guys.
It's like, it's like it keeps things as a default setting until there's an update, and then it's like
I noticed that like the window flickered a little bit. It was like, and I'm like, oh, that was weird, but
yeah, that's so fucking weird. All right, well, anyway. That's what I got for the week here.
Yeah, we're good. Looking at the time, we should definitely get to the Q's.
Yeah, that's what
Q to dubs.
Yeah.
Last week we asked you guys, what's a simple change you made in your daily routine that had a surprisingly positive impact on your life?
Wearing diapers.
On Instagram. We're moving over to Facebook. That's how good Instagram was.
Wow.
Thanks, Instagram. Although Cheeto did like our posts. So.
Okay, well, I have an answer from him, of course.
So speaking of Cheeto, Lady Cheeto says, maybe not daily, but Cheeto and I have enjoyed our deck a lot more this summer than in the past years. We have more.
We enjoy it too.
Wait, what? We have morning chats and coffee while listening to the birds and evening beverages and dinners on our extra little cozy outdoor space. And it is a cozy space.
By the birds, I assume she means the band, not
of course,
like the animals.
Yeah.
Right?
Also the band.
But also not like the animals, the band. Yeah. House of the Rising Sun.
There's going to be a lot of reading, so I'm glad I have a fresh open water here.
Oh, no.
Diamond Top fan Kiki. Does she actually listen, I wonder? Or she does,
she answers the
and
question,
that makes her a Diamond Top fan. Kiki says, can I say this here? Fuck it, I'm going to say it anyway. I've been denying my orgasms for 94 days now. This is my second stretch doing this, 108 days previously. Huh. I find myself being more aware of my own emotions, and during the deed, I'm more focused on pleasure in the moment and the pleasure of my partner. Outside of sexy times, I'm more willing to do the things that before I hated doing, dishes, laundry, etc., because it brings my partner's pleasure. That's interesting.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
I shan't be practicing that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think
bad for the prostate.
Here's to it.
I said bad for the prostate.
Oh. Kind of broke up on my end here.
Stephanie Menard says, making time every day for silly things. Singing to my dogs, dancing around to horrible music, trying to remember that silly keeps the soul young. That is fair.
Fair enough. Laughter is pretty awesome stuff. God, I am really white here.
Brian, that's our whole podcast. We're really white.
Ooh.
So spooky scary. Zach says, started walking daily. The walking itself didn't do all that much, but it compounded into desire to get my diet under control. I can't read. Work out more, and in 2 years, that simple change has led to a loss of 225 pounds. God damn, Zach. Shout out Zach, bro.
Damn, son. Putting some work in. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That is making a significant change. I mean, it's led to,
But damn, bro. Excellent work.
Props, man. Job. Yeah.
Yeah, normally I don't respond to these, but this one deserves it.
Yeah. This one, for sure. good for him, man, because that's gonna, hopefully lead to a better life for him. Be better on your knees and all that kind of shit. I was just thinking about the other day because former enthusiast guest James Alvarez, that was from the Obscure Gentleman, he posted a thing where, I think in the last year he's dropped about 76 lbs.
Nice.
Just hitting the gym, just getting after it. So, it's like, and I'm looking at him going, when I was seeing his before pictures, I'm like, dude, he weighs what I weigh or weighed what I weigh. And it was like, him and I are a before and after now.
So your Valerie says, I started investing time, energy, money into things I love. Spending time reading has helped my overall mental health, and I've learned a lot. Really sad that I let myself forget that for too long. I averaged a book every 10-ish days last year, and for casual reading, I'm proud. Yeah, I've actually started getting back into reading myself.
That's good. That's something. Yeah, I was like, that's something I really, that actually watching that documentary, it kind of made me think about that too. And it's like, I think I'm going to try to, because I have a really hard time. I can't sit and read like I used to. And I know that, but it's like, instead of just not reading, it's like, just try to read a few pages a day kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, just because first of all, I got to retrain my brain because everything now is shifted to short attention spans. It's boom, 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 so over time, maybe I can retrain my brain to be able to take on knowledge like that. But if not, whatever, read a page or 2 pages or whatever I can pay attention to a day. Yeah. Because I've got a bunch of books I want to read, and I it's like I'm not like I used to. I used to just keep making a list. Like my Amazon wish list at one time was just books, just tons of books, and I still have one that is, but it's I'm not as obsessed with like that. Like I don't go to a like Barnes and Noble or anything like that and look for books. I don't go online and go, what's the new hot book, or I don't
you got an
do
iPad,
any of
just
that
download
stuff.
Libby and Hoopla. Yeah,
no,
like
that's what I'm
use your
saying.
library card, man.
Like, no. What I'm meaning is I'm not like constantly amassing a list like I was doing before. I was constantly like looking and that sounds good. And I'm keeping a list, and I'm like, I can't do that. That's insanity because I'll never read all those books. It's just not possible,
And,
so, but good on her for sure that too. Yeah.
And then Diamond Top fan Dev. This is probably the best advice I've seen in this whole column. I stopped giving a fuck.
Yeah, to an extent, it's
pretty liberating
because when you can let go of a lot of that stuff, it helps. Like we talk about that on the Crazy Life quite a bit. Is learning to let go, because there's that saying that's let go or be dragged, and learning to let go, you actually realize you actually have more control because you focus on what you can actually control versus trying to control everything in your life. And it makes a massive difference. So yeah, good for Dev.
That's what I got on my end.
Oh, all right. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Cheeto says the small change he made in his routine was I quit being a fucking douchebag. And jury's still out on that one, buddy. No, I kid. He says, seriously, I'm still kind of a douche, but I did make changes. Like I started being more open with my wife. Being less shady, not lying about shit. These were things I did and I'm not proud of, but the simple act of honesty drastically changed my life and our relationship for the better. Good work there for sure.
There you go.
Communication, important. Not being a douchebag.
Solid.
Good move. He says, salty selections. I took a different job. Working day shifts and being home on the evenings is way better than the life of closing shifts at a busy ass restaurant.
Yeah, it means we can play PlayStation, you son of a gun. EDF.
It's like we've talked about it quite a few times, especially as you get older, you realize how important or how valuable your time is. And it's like, do I want to barter, like in his case, do I want to barter time with the family for work? No, you don't. He'd rather have those nights off. Now he can go watch Katie dance on the, in her competitions on the weekends a little more. It's great. So he also says, I quit drinking Bud Light. Drinking good beer and not drinking 30 of them in a session because Bud Light has definitely had a surprising impact on my life and taste buds.
Perfect.
And I guess it isn't a daily routine, but still, you know what I mean. And then his last one is coffee outside on nice mornings, enjoying my deck. I get up earlier now just to do that. I let Charleston out, sit with a coffee, have a smoke, and get my day started. Might not seem like much, but compared to getting up last minute and running out the door, it's a very nice change. Bro, there's tons of people that, like, I had a English teacher in high school. He got up an hour before he needed to get ready, basically. He'd make a little bit of tea. He'd go up into his attic, and he would sit there and play guitar for an hour.
There you go.
Have his tea, play a little guitar, just jam a little bit. Then, get ready for school, to go to work and whatever. People do that stuff, whether it's meditation or that, the coffee. I talked about, was it last week, or my dad used to do that with a newspaper, and he'd go get like a Egg McMuffin or something, and that was his way of starting the day. And, those rituals essentially, they really kind of are, they're so much better than getting up and gawking at our phone for an hour before we get ready, or, plus, like he said, for your anxiety and stuff, it's like waking up 2 seconds before you got to be out the door. Basically, you're just like,
exactly, knocking shit over.
Yeah, and that's not the way you want to start your day, is by launching that cortisol and stuff off. You relax, let some dopamine out, have a nice chill, then get stressed out.
Good. I can't wait to retire.
I think Tim Ferriss used to talk about it too, how when he would get up, sometimes he would meditate before he would start doing his emails.
Mm-hmm.
Clear the mind, stretch a little bit, whatever. Drink a 30 rack
empty
of
that
Pabst,
prostate.
whatever. Empty the prostate a couple times, sure. Yeah. Read half your book on the toilet, So, yeah. Good answers, my friend. Everybody.
So I was telling you, Brian, I've got a QoftheW, which is actually going to work out perfect, because you and I really can't answer it. But we have to have our listeners answer it. So,
is this going to be another Who's More Handsome? How many L's do you have to take?
So, we got to do our due diligence and make sure we share these. But, so what I want people to do, because this is shit you and I do all the time, is to give us the name of either a movie or a sitcom, totally made up, and then you and I have to come up with what it's about. Yes.
Okay. I like that.
And I think that could be a lot of fun for us. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I like that.
So, yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't want us to answer it, because...
Well, the like you said, our part in this
we come up with whatever the plot / synopsis of, like, what would the show pitch or movie pitch be for whatever the title that gets submitted. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're doing elevator pitches.
Yes. So I mean, I have it wrote down as give us the title of a movie and we'll make up the plot, but it could be sitcom too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Movie or
show.
And we'll come up with the plot / pitch for it.
Okay. Yeah. Do me a favor. Send me how you had that written.
I'll send it right now in Yon chat. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. That way I can
figure it out.
It's
good. That works out. Oh, I forgot. This is fucking whatever. No, I'm trying to copy pasta, but since I use a Windows machine all day, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons.
Yeah, I understand. Been there before myself.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. There it is.
It's weird. It's native to me now, but it wasn't for so long, because I was Johnny Mac for a long time, and
there we
go.
Not
more.
Yeah, like all day I'm using copy pasta on Windows. I come here and my keyboard's like, ha ha, take that, sucker.
Yeah. Wrong button. Dink. Yeah. Like, okay, like fine.
Random windows are opening and shit. Things are going weird. Yeah.
Yep. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Circle K. Speaking of strange things being afoot, saltylanguage.com, or I'm sorry, patreon.com/saltylanguage. We'll be wrapping up our sandwich discussion, I would assume.
I'd like to wrap up a sandwich right now.
If I had ramen for dinner, granted, I churched it up and added stuff to it.
I hope so. I can't imagine you were just like, I'm going to eat a brick of ramen.
I made it good, made it tasty, but
right.
I also did put hot sauce. But dude, I'm starving. It was not nearly enough food. No.
Oh boy, us talking about sandwiches.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. Just be like, I guess I die tonight.
Yeah,
it does happen.
It happens.
But anywho, you ready for some plugs, my guy? Boom.
Yeah. I mean, I decided to just stay bald. I'm not going to go
through that. Hi-oh.
Anyway. Every time I see that damn commercial for some of those, I'm just like, no, just for men stop for it.
Beard.
Just fucking go bald, dude.
Except your fate.
Gray come in, go bald. Listen, I get it when you're like
even
20,
then,
you don't want to go gray, but whatever. Who cares?
Be a man.
Yeah. Just use a Sharpie like a man. Like Bud Bundy, I remember in the one intro to Married with Children, and he's like filling his beard in with it.
Just get some Kikkoman and brush it in there.
Ooh, delicious. Then you'll have a new mommy beard. Delicious. Oh man. Sorry, I'm writing
That's
down
fair.
Mommy beard.
So Salt Language Pod on the YouTubes. If you're watching, cool. If you're not, we go live every week. You rascals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do.
And
hit up saltylanguage.com. You can find all the links and stuff. Sorry, I was doing something. But you can find all the links to our stuff, including tangentboundnetwork.com, which is the network we're part of. So you can go check out the other shows there if you would. And if you're looking for a network for your podcast, hit them up. It was like Mark was just doing like stage acting, I think. This kid's all over the place.
Renaissance man.
Seriously.
Just as tall as Danny DeVito. It's crazy.
I hope he's as tall as Danny DeVito. Or at least as tall as Danny DeVito, I should say. Man. Oh, yeah. All right. But yeah, if you talk to Mark, what do you
keep the Kikkoman on your beard, bro. That's our gimmick.
Okay. Fair enough. He's gonna just start, infusing some cigar leaves in Kikkoman so they taste like umami when you smoke them.
A Kikkoman infused cigar sounds like the worst thing. Sounds horrible.
Sounds terrible, yeah. All right. Well, if you want to reach out to us on the socials, you can find me or find the show, on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on whatever platform I'm on. If you're looking for me at Stunami. It'll pretty much look like me in the avatar. So if it doesn't, that's not me. Because there are some platforms where that was already taken. So some jerk already took it, even though I've had it forever.
You can find me on Instagram at DMonotony, and it looks like me as well. Salty Language, at Salty Language, I'm sorry, on TikTok, which there's things that get posted there. I repost stuff more often than not. Patreon.com/Salty Language, where I talked about that. $3 gets you access to all the extra shit. And there's actually, if you want to just join for free, there's a free tier, and there's content there as well.
Yeah, Tony's blurred all the nudity.
Not all of it, winky wink.
Not, oh, shit.
Yeah, a little ankle.
Oh, no, I meant like dick neck.
Come on down to Dick Neck's Ford.
Oh, man. I don't want to go there at all.
Brian, you have a side project?
Right next to Bush Avenue. Exactly. I have another podcast called
Up the road from the Grundle Laundromat.
Yep. The laundromat.
That's a clean Grundle,
I guess. Oh, man. Grundles. Yeah, I have another podcast called The Crazy Life, where it's me and our friend Henno talking about things in our life, as well as mental health and wellness, recovery, addiction, all that kind of stuff that's affected our lives. So, yeah, we're, what did we talk about last time real quick here? Boy, we talked about how the art is the journey, not the final product, man. And how nothing really matters.
Whoa.
Man.
Someone should write a song about that.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll send it around to see if we can find something.
Oh, my God, dude. I saw it. Just saying that nothing else matters made me think of this. I saw this TikTok the other day, and I almost died laughing. And it was just like, what Metallica did before they're Metallica, right? And here comes like this Kirk, almost like South Park cut out. And it's like,
yeah,
hey, James, can you put a price on the, or no, god damn it, it was Dave Mustaine. It's like, hey James, can you put a price on peas? And James is like, yeah. It was just all this weird shit, but it ends with like, hey Dave, what's the best cheese you have in the grocery store? And he's like, hello me. Dude, it was so stupid, but it was so funny.
Oh my, wow.
I'll have to, if I can find it, I'll have to just send it to you, because it's so dumb, but it's hilarious.
Right. I love it. I did a project when I was in school where we had to like design a website, and it had to be based around we had gone on a walking tour in Chicago of Frank Lloyd Wright houses. So it had to be about Frank Lloyd Wright. And what I did was I designed the front page of it to be like a jukebox kind of thing. And I picked a bunch of songs to go with it. And I made up all this shit that like Frank Lloyd Wright was like the original guitarist in Metallica. He was one of the original Blues Brothers, just dumb shit like that. And then I, gimmicked it together, of course, because Photoshop and stuff. And I remember like I made this little mascot called Lil Frankie. And it was basically a little version of Frank Lloyd Wright. And the head of the graphic design department was not
He's
impressed.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
He was like, I really wish you would take this more seriously. And I'm like, I don't see why. He's like, none of this is true. I was like, what are you talking about?
Well, I think it's fantastic.
So, yeah. And another, one of my friends in the class, he did a thing where like, if you clicked on a certain point of the website, the Spanish Inquisition came up. And I think he put Frank Lloyd Wright's head on one of them. It was just Tim, the guy in charge of the department. He laughed at it, but he was just like, he's like, if a client asked you to do this, this would not go over well. I'm like, depending on the client.
Exactly. You got to know your audience.
If you said, hey, design me a website about Frank Lloyd Wright, and I delivered that, you'd be like, this is hilarious.
Wow, that would be, what a weird request that would be from me.
Yeah, I'd be like, really? Okay. I mean, I guess. Like, I don't know how to use any current, well, I could use like Canva or something, but, like, I don't know how to build a website anymore, but I can figure it out.
Figured it out.
I just can't code one. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I think that's all
a program.
Plugs and shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next week, I
wish I had a beer, because I'm not fine, because I really could go for one.
I've got one in my fridge, but I don't want it.
Oh my God. Well, have Brian's last shandy, so he'll be fine.
Please. I seriously need to go buy some good beer.